Terrell Thomas reporting live from downtown Atlanta, and we must say all hail Atlanta, as today we're going to get an inside scoop on the new football league that is taking place here in Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks to the AAF, we now know about the Atlanta Legends, and they're taking Atlanta by storm. We're going to actually get on the field momentarily, speak to some of the brass here with the Atlanta Legends, and find out what it's like starting a new franchise here in Atlanta, especially with all the love for sports that takes place right here in this great city. So stay tuned, because we'll be bringing you a whole lot of dope content from today's events. All hail ATL. Terrell Thomas, we're reporting live in downtown Atlanta, and I have to take a special moment to say thank you to Mr. David Livingston for giving us a wonderful time to not only be on the field, but just a moment to speak with you and learn a lot more about the new craze in Atlanta, the Atlanta Legends. Now, you yourself, sir, are the president of the Atlanta Legends. So talk to me, when did you get involved with sports, and how has it been so far with creating this new team that's here taking Atlanta by storm?
Well, first of all, welcome to our home, Georgia State Stadium, home of the Atlanta Legends. Really excited for our inaugural 2019 season. We've got one game under our belt at home, but looking forward to the next 3 weeks. We play, we play the Memphis Express, followed by the Orlando Apollos, and then the San Antonio Commanders. So really good stretch of games here for our Atlanta fans. My beginnings in sports go back to time I spent at Procter & Gamble in brand management. Doesn't sound like anything sports-worthy. I was on a business called Sunny Delight. You may have enjoyed one or two yourself. If you have kids, they certainly have. But Sunny Delight became the official juice drink of the National Football League. So believe it or not, over 20 years ago, I found myself going to Super Bowls, interacting with NFL executives, and learning a lot more about the business of sports. That led me to spend time at an agency in Cleveland, Ohio called IMG, working in professional golf for 15 years. Best golfer and one of the best athletes in the world at that time was a guy by the name of Tiger Woods. He was an IMG client. When you can drop Tiger Woods' name in a conversation about building a marketing partnership or other relationship, you tend to be able to open a lot of doors. I was fortunate enough after my time at IMG to go to an NBA team called the Cleveland Cavaliers. 3 weeks before LeBron James decided to have his Cleveland run 2.0. Learned a lot about the NBA and what it's like to go to the finals in that experience. And all of those things combined, presented me, with a background that matched well with what the Alliance of American Football was looking to do in building one of its 8 new teams. And I was offered the opportunity to create the Atlanta Legends.
Now, that's already quite the journey, working with the likes of Tiger Woods and, of course, LeBron James, 2 of our greatest athletes we've seen in this generation, possibly 2 of the greatest athletes of all time. This is a big task here, as we say. It's a wonderful arena right in the heart of downtown Atlanta, something that's pretty unique here as well. We all know in the South, in Georgia especially, football is second to none. It's one of the beloved sports here in Atlanta. And when you go to other leagues and check out games, they're in a dome. And right here, we're enjoying the wonderful weather here in Atlanta. We get to see this wonderful field. Talk to me about the experience that's provided here for fans, being able to come catch the Atlanta Legends on a Sunday and actually get the outdoor football experience.
When you think about spring football, it's interesting. The most successful spring football league was the United States Football League, the USFL, mid-'80s league that played in largely northern markets. So you would have games in February, March, even April where there was snow on the ground. One of the things the Alliance did wisely, in my opinion, was pick a lot of Sunbelt, southern cities, running from San Diego all the way to Orlando. And we are fortunate to be in the great city of Atlanta and have the opportunity to allow football fans, and there are a lot of them, both in Georgia as well as in the city, that can come out and enjoy a game on what most weekends we hope will be 60, 65, even 70 degrees, and see high caliber professional football right in downtown Atlanta.
Now, what was the process like actually getting everything off the ground here in Atlanta? As you mentioned, this is the inaugural season, so this is the first time for everything. Of course, first time here. At one point in time, the Atlanta Braves actually played here, so it's a lot of history here in this stadium, but now it's been converted into a football stadium, and it looks phenomenal already. What have been some of the challenges, and what have been some of your missions in your first year getting this new football team off the ground?
Well, the first and best thing is that it's football. So we're not trying to introduce fans here to a completely new sport or convert people that are used to doing other things in the spring besides watch preparations for the NFL Combine and the NFL Draft or the spring football campaigns at the different colleges they follow in this market. We're just trying to take the football fan and give them a unique experience with a new league. And so we feel like we've been blessed in this area to know that we can tap into the likes of Georgia State fans, University of Georgia fans, Georgia Tech fans right in our backyard, and also draw from fans across the SEC to let them see the talent that is represented in the Alliance of American Football. And then we have this unique and historic venue. Again, you talked about the Braves playing here. Before that, there was an Olympics right here, on the very site where we're standing. So there have been tremendous athletic accomplishments and history and heritage associated with Georgia State Stadium. We're just proud to help extend that. And also, with a great partner like Georgia State, to make this a facility that has more of a year-round application for the university. The Alliance of American Football is really all about creating opportunities for professional football players. One of the stats that I like to use in describing who we are and what we do. When I moved to Atlanta, and I'm a Clevelander, moved to Atlanta Labor Day weekend of 2018, that was the NFL cutdown weekend. Over 1,000 professional football players lost their jobs when the 32 NFL teams made their cuts from roughly 85 plus players down to the 53-man roster. The Alliance of American Football has 8 teams. We have 52-man rosters. That's 416 jobs that we're creating for those 1,000 plus players. It's a unique opportunity for players that are right on the cusp of having an NFL career to continue to develop their skills, to get professional instruction from NFL caliber coaches, to run NFL offense and defensive schemes, and to showcase their abilities over a 10-game regular season. So we're really proud to be a part of that. And then as far as building the organization, we're a startup. So, I started as employee number 1 with the Atlanta Legends on the business side. Now we've got a staff that's thriving of over 20, working out of Midtown Atlanta, contributing to the local economy, and really doing everything we can day in, day out, week in, week out to deliver high-quality entertainment to football fans in Atlanta.
One thing that I think is very unique about this new league, as you mentioned, 8 teams right now, but we have seen a lot of support from NFL, former NFL players, and a lot of former UGA players as well. I know your starting quarterback in this upcoming Sunday matchup, Aaron Murray, was once, of course, a legend with the Bulldogs right up the road. And you mentioned being able to help create jobs for gentlemen who may have lost their job in the NFL or are looking for opportunities to, again, at one point get into the NFL. But this league here itself, the AAF, is providing a great service in itself. Is it kind of unique that you're not considered at this point, you aren't rivaling with the NFL, but you're working together in partnership to try to, help this league blossom and grow?
We're actually really pleased to be able to say that everything we do is meant to be complementary to the NFL. So we are providing the NFL with a tremendous service. In fact, we've seen over the start of the first 4 weeks of Alliance of American Football play, more and more NFL executives in the front office and in the coaching ranks take notice of what we're doing on field, identify specific players, recognize that the schemes and sets that are being run here, may have a positive impact on the types of personnel they want to look at and the sets they want to run in fall football. And we're hopeful that over the long term, the NFL will continue to appreciate what we're providing in terms of a service to allow them to evaluate players and make that transition of assembling a roster every year even easier. Now that's on the football side, and that is serious business. I like to say we're spring football and Atlanta Legends football is all about creating a very fun, and enjoyable fan experience, and that's why we do the things we do. Our in-game experience, we want it to be something that fans are engaged in. The pace of an Alliance game is a little quicker. Some of the rules that have changed to provide player safety also have a dramatic impact on scoring. There are no kickoffs. You have to go for a 2-point conversion after every touchdown that's scored. We want fans to really sort of recognize that, hey, they're coming out and watching very talented professional football players compete at a high level, and they're getting a tremendous value in terms of what they're paying for their tickets, the access they have to concessions, the Legends Fan Fest that we create for them before every game, and even some of the things we do to connect ourselves with the Atlanta community, like establishing a legend of the game that we introduce before every home game here.
One of the greatest joys for fans of football at any level is to see their team get into the end zone. So let's walk down to the end zone, see what it looks like down there, and just give fans an idea of what they get to see when they come and they see the Legends get into that great end zone.
Let's do it. It's been a long time since I scored a touchdown.
Made it down to the end zone, and one of the things that is very unique to me is the color scheme that we see here. Something very different for what we've seen typically in Atlanta teams. We see a lot of black, we see a lot of gold or red. Right now we're looking at purple and gold. So what was the purpose or the reasoning that you guys decided to go with this color scheme?
So the Alliance had to come up with team names and logos for each of the 8 cities where we play. For Atlanta, the name that was selected was the Legends, which is a very appropriate name given the history, heritage, and legacy, of all of the great accomplishments that have taken place, just from human and civil rights perspective, a business perspective, and naturally a sports perspective in this city. With that comes, we don't want to say we've appropriated regal tones, but the color scheme of purple and gold does have a strong affiliation with sort of being, at a high level of achievement, sort of having, that regal connotation, and it allowed us to sort of play off of that by creating the crown that's symbolic in one of our logos. But we always want to harken back to what's most important to us, which is, the ATL, and that's why you see that represented in our end zone versus our team name. We'll always be the Legends, and that's at midfield, but when we put it in the end zone, we're doing it for ATL.
I love that. And we get a great view right now to get fans to see when they come down to enjoy the game just how magnificent the view actually is, no matter where you're seated here in this lovely arena. But one thing I think is unique, you were talking to us momentarily ago about the experience that you guys give fans, not only pregame with tailgating, but how it's so fan friendly on pockets of families. So talk to me about you were mentioning how affordable it is to bring your whole family down on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in March and different things to catch wonderful professional football.
So I've talked before, you're getting a very serious football business product inside the White Lines. We want the experience of coming to enjoy a Legends game here at Georgia State Stadium to be one that's fun and that is family friendly. Not meaning that we don't want pro football fans to come out, enjoy themselves, and have a Sunday fun day, and we've got plenty of options in that regard, but we also have great accommodations that we can make for families. We've got a couple of decks that we've turned into our family fun decks. I mean, you can come down with a family of 4, get 4 drinks, 4 hot dogs, and 4 tickets for $136, which, again, that is something that you'd be hard-pressed to find at some of the other Atlanta professional sports venues. We've got great seat lines and close to the field seats available for as low as $11 for all of our remaining home games. And then before every game, 2 hours before, from 1:30 to 3:30, we have what's called our Legends Fan Fest, and that's where some of the more traditional tailgating takes place. It's across Georgia Avenue from the entrance to the stadium in what's known as, the green lot. Okay. Fans can come in, they can park, they can tailgate on their own, or they can take part in the Fan Fest tailgate we provide, where Yuengling, our partner, provides an open beer garden where fans can, hang out and discuss, what they hope is going to happen prior to the game. There's activities for kids. We have music and or DJ depending on the game, and it's just something where we want there to create a community where Legends fans can connect with one another and sort of keep their excitement and enthusiasm for the game really high before the first snap. We play 4 games on Sunday afternoons, with what we call the first snap after 4 p.m., and then one Saturday game where our first snap will be at 2 p.m., all in great windows for both families and, really passionate football fans to come out and enjoy the game.
Well, Yingling is definitely a great refreshment pregame to kind of get, your mind and your body in tune and ready for some football. What are your expectations in this first season for the Atlanta Legends? You guys, as I mentioned several times, are already creating a strong buzz here in the sporting community in Atlanta. And one thing I think people overlook, a lot of people don't look at Atlanta as being a great sports destination, and I've been trying to get people to understand this is a phenomenal sports town. You have to come here and actually enjoy a sporting event here. And with you guys now being here during the spring, during a wonderful time to actually get outside, right, as we are once again. Talk to me about your expectations in this first season and ongoing for the Atlanta Legends.
So, we had a lot to do on the business side to get ready for this first game. On the football side of the operation, they had a tremendous amount of work to do. Assembling a team, sort of moving through some changes we had in our coaching staff, getting, associated and really prepared to compete for that first game, and we struggled out of the gate. We went on the road our first two games, down to Orlando and out to San Diego, and we lost. We got better between those two games. Our third game, we were even more competitive, but didn't come away here in our home opener against Birmingham with a win. And then we went out to Arizona and really, with our backs up against the wall, broke through and got that first win with Aaron Murray under center at quarterback for much of the game. Really excited at his performance and what he's going to bring. Obviously, the local football fans that remember Aaron's record at the University of Georgia, all-time touchdown passing leader in the SEC, four-year starter, 121 touchdowns. They're anxious to see him repeat that type of performance for the Legends. With our new offensive coordinator and under the leadership of head coach Kevin Coyle, we're anxious to see if we can get back, into the playoff race. A win on Sunday's game combined with a loss by Birmingham put us one game out of that second playoff spot in the Eastern Conference, and that's our goal. Just get us into the tournament at the end of our regular season, and we feel like we'll be in a place where we can compete with anyone, and then we have the chance hopefully to play for an Alliance Championship in Las Vegas at the end of April.
How can fans actually purchase tickets and go about learning more about the Atlanta Legends and getting on down here this Sunday to check out a wonderful atmosphere?
Primary resource, AtlantaLegends.com. It's that simple. Go on the site, click the ticket link at the top of the page, and you'll have a lot of information of the different options that are available to you. We got some great media partners in market. 680, The Fan, and Dickey Broadcasting have been wonderful in helping to promote the Legends to the sports fans locally, and they also carry all of our games live. We've got some ticket offers available through them. And then, you mentioned it up at the top of our conversation, All Hail ATL. Use that hashtag, and it'll take you to the AAF Legends social media platforms, and you'll see some great opportunities, offers, and giveaways through those channels as well.
David, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the opportunity to come down and check out this wonderful stadium. Once again, all hail ATL. Terrell Thomas reporting live downtown Atlanta GSU Stadium. Make sure you get down here this Sunday. Check out the Legends pick up a big win. And UGA fans, Aaron Murray will be behind the center. So it's a great way to come back, relive your days of Georgia Bulldogs football, and experience new wonderful football here with the Atlanta Legends.
Go Legends.